Hey, McKinley. Hey, Eddie. Want to hear some factoids about this town? Yeah, sure. Yeah. Got a little bothered because I haven't played the game in a week. Forgot I called my character Epsilon 9 as opposed to Eddie. First time I ever played this game, I called my character Eddie. Come to find out my dad's named Eddie. Oops. Well, you see, before the Great Destruction, New Folk was part of a large city. You can tell because the pavements is nicer than in other towns. And the buildings are better aligned. These days, since the desert north of the city is overrun with monsters, including several on the wanted list, hint hint, nudge nudge, Bugsy, many hunters like yourself use this town as their base of operations. This is only the second town, and a lot of hunters use this place as their base of operations. Not a bad idea since they have a really good mechanic here, supposedly. But it's really early in the game. You have a lot of low-level monsters and a lot of low-level bounties. And by a lot of, I mean a handful. That's about all I can think of to tell you, so I'll be on my way. Hope to see you around. I have not played this game in a week. Kind of forgot the progress I made. We're supposed to be going to the abandoned buildings now, right? Okay, so I did get that big medal. Gonna have to check that off my list. I decide I'm going to keep a list of the items that I do and don't get. For the sake of convenience. So, first thing we're gonna do, like I promised last time, is we are going to head straight north to the abandoned buildings. Because we find a lot of good stuff up there. Actually... What the heck do I have equipped on these guys? Okay, he's got the drill claw and she's got the metal bat. Not too shabby. That shouldn't be too bad to start off in the first building, as. I would like to give a shout out to an individual known as Tesla Matt, I believe his name is pronounced. About a week ago from this recording, which will probably be about a month prior to me uploading this episode, Tesla Matt went and looked into the game's files and found out what the other rewards for the Solomon Monster Quest is. Just by accepting the quest, you get the gloves, which you've already seen. At 30%, you get the boots, and at 60%, you get the helms. You get the helmet, excuse me. This was already known, except by looking into the files, he was able to discover that at 90%, you get his body armor. Oh, look, it's Jesse and James. I find it doubtful anything worthwhile will come of this. Well, we should still check it out. This place definitely predates the Great Destruction, don't you think? I say it's worth looking into. I wish I could do a New York accent. Unfortunately, I have very little exposure to that accent. Another vending machine here. We are going to be walking around on foot a fair amount, so we might want to stock up on protectors. And as I said in a previous episode, don't buy in bulk from vending machines, because you want to have as many chances to get, that was very close, hitting the lottery on these things as possible. Okay, we're gonna hop in here real quick. Actually, no. We're gonna come back here. What we're going to do first is go into this area over here. This is probably a bad idea. You know what I should be doing is I should have my list up. Because I'm going by memory and then checking the video afterwards. Then again, there is that part of me that's curious as how well am I remembering some of this stuff. But then again, I'm going to have to probably go back and pick up some items I forgot. So yeah, I should probably have my list up. There goes my protector. Stick-on armor as early as the abandoned buildings isn't that great. Also, that little mound on the ground there, that's obviously a security device of some sort. I can't really tell until it pops its little head out, whether it's a security camera or... Yep, that's the camera. Flashing a picture will lower your defense. But when that particular enemy is in its shelter, you can't attack it with normal attacks. Well, at least you can't hit it. There are certain weapons that allow you to hit enemies when they're in shelter. I am interested to see how much I remember going purely by memory. Got another healing capsule to compensate for the one that we just used. And a thunder grenade, because there are some enemies in the game who are weak to electrical attacks, but I can't for the life of me remember offhand which those enemies are. Because you want to breezing through the first couple areas real quick. I don't think there actually is anything in this room. I hardly ever see that room. Also, what kind of building is this that they actually have cots in here? What sort of municipal building was this? Oh, I was talking about Tesla Matt. Should finish giving him that shout out before I get lost in thought again. He looked into the game files, found out that at 90% you get... There goes another protector. Crap! You get the body armor. I'm not sure if that can be used, because as far as I know, nobody's ever gotten to 90% completion on the bestiary. And at 100% you get Doc Solomon's sword. Also something I know absolutely nothing about. And according to Tesla Matt, he went and looked through the game files and counted, and apparently there's approximately 261 enemies in the game. And I say approximately because even he knows that this is not confirmed for a couple reasons. One is we don't know how many enemies for sure, because some of those enemies may have been cut when brought over from east to west. Some of those enemies might not actually be needed to count, because there are some enemies in the game that you can't get access to. I'll point those out when they show up, because we will absolutely be getting them. This game, I can't say it's not worth playing without getting those, but it's like you're missing out on a big... If you want it missing out on those enemies, you want it missing out on a big portion of the story. This here's a tank part, so we're going to have to come back here with our tank. That I didn't fully remember. This episode's just going to be me getting back into the swing of things. I'm hoping I'm more conscious of what... Ah, frick. Forgot to give myself a protector, and I forgot to heal up. Hopefully my character doesn't die. On the plus side, we did lose another protector. This is a game where it's kind of a good thing for your armor to get broken. Think about that. And it's just so cute how she just puts her whole body into it. Also, always save the camera for last, because the camera can't do diddly other than lowering your defense. So it can't defend itself. Okay, time to switch out the protectors. Oh, good for you guys. You're actually getting the good stuff now. And to keep my character from dying, I'm going to heal him up a little bit. And... yeah, I think we can, like, save... I think we can sacrifice a few points to heal Misha up. typically you want to hold off, and so that way they get the full 50 points of healing as you would in any other type of game we have such commodities. But healing capsules aren't really rare, and they aren't really expensive. Gonna have to go back here with our tank to pick that thing up. But if we pick that particular tank part up with the tanks that we have, our tanks are going to become overloaded, so what we need is another tank. And that's what we're going to go get right now. The tank we're going to get was in the first building that we decided not to... Oops. Was in the first building I decided not to go into. Well, Epsilon, why didn't you just go into the first building to get the tank? Well, first of all, because I didn't want to miss out on... I didn't want to be talking out over an interesting scene that involves you going and getting that tank. Also, there's something kind of important in the top floor of this building. But we're going down here now. First, get this glowing orb right here. Engram frame. And here we have the Mosquito. We got the Mosquito. We can now use the drive command to ride or tow vehicles. I guess we weren't the first ones here. Nice to meet you. I'm Rosa Beldaire. Who are you? Ellipses. So, you're Epsilon 9? I assume you're a hunter? I am too, though you probably couldn't tell by looking at me. I became a hunter because tanks really get my motor running. Honey, you don't need to become a hunter to collect tanks. I'd rather collect big tanks than waste time fighting monsters, see? That tank there is a Mosquito, by the way. There's supposed to be a tank somewhere around here, but... Yeah, that's the one we just found. That's the one you just drew attention to. What shall we do, Miss Rosa? Carl says nothing. Well, I don't need that tank, really. It's not anything special. I guess he did find it first, so let's let him have it. Oh, sorry, you're still standing there. If I really wanted that tank, I'm sure you would have given it to me. But I'll give you a break this time, and we'll just say you owe me one. See you again soon. She doesn't have the most savory first impressions, and she kind of looks like the kind of type. She looks like the kind of type of person that would do that Karin from Street Fighter laugh. That kind of person. But overall, she's a decent enough individual. And yeah, this isn't the first time that we're going to wind up discovering a tank before she gets the opportunity to. So we're going to kind of screw her out of a couple of tanks. But I don't know. It's like, if I had another opportunity to get... Because like I said, I want to get all the tanks in the game. And that means kind of screwing her out of it. Fortunately, as far as I know, just surrendering a tank to her doesn't actually lift any flags for her. Because apparently you can build up something of a relationship with her. Misha's the easiest one to get a relationship with because you can just propose to her as soon as you meet her. Rachel in the bar in the starter town, you need to do like one or two things in order to get into a relationship with her. That's the difference between a tank and then beating someone over the head with a bat. Rosa, apparently you can develop something of a relationship with her. No one's actually seen it come to full fruition. But again, there's a lot in this game that we don't know for certain, so can't really tell how far that relationship goes. I'm hoping I don't have to give up a tank in order to get into a relationship with her. I mean, I think that there is one tank in the game that you only get specifically either to get a really good item, to get a bounty that you can't get without that tank, or to get a tank. I know you need that tank in order to get the bounty, but I can't remember if there's anything else in that building that you can only access with that particular tank. Going by memory sucks.